The dragon did not remember when the sky stopped being kind. He only remembered the cold. The stone beneath him was cracked and black. Once it had been warm. Once it had sung with energy. Now it was silent. The dragon lay curled beside the ruins of a broken outpost. His scales were dull grey. They had once been silver blue. They had once reflected stars. He was large, larger than most buildings. Yet he did not move. The locals called him Ashfall. They said he was harmless. They said he was broken. They said he had been abandoned by his kind. They were correct. Long ago, the stellar drakes ruled the high void. They were living warships. They burned fleets. They shattered moons. They were worshipped and feared. Ashfall had never wanted war. When the drakes were hired by the Dominion, he refused to burn cities. He refused to glass colonies. He refused to scream in joy while millions died. So they left him. They tore the command spines from his back. They shattered his void wings. They dumped him on an unclaimed world. They said he would starve. He did not starve. But he faded. Decades passed. Scavengers came. They cut away broken armor plates. They stole power crystals from his chest. Ashfall did not resist. He had no will to fight. Then came the storms. Acid rain burned his scales. Ice winds cracked his bones. Still he remained. The locals avoided him. Children dared each other to throw rocks. Militia patrols watched from afar. Everyone agreed on one thing. The dragon was no threat. Then a human arrived. His name was Elias Trent. He came alone in a battered transport. No escort, no weapons. The first thing Elias did was stop. He stood at the edge of the ruined outpost and stared. The dragon lifted one eye. It was the size of a hover truck. It was dim and tired. Elias did not run. He took off his helmet. The air was thin and cold. He did not care. He whispered, "Hello, big guy." The dragon did not respond. Elias walked closer. Every sensor alarm in the region screamed. Local militia shouted warnings. Drones hovered in fear. Elias kept walking. He stopped 10 meters away. "You look cold," he said. Ash felt something strange. No one had spoken to him in years. Elias returned to his transport. The next day he came back with tools, metal beams, insulation sheets, thermal anchors. The locals thought he was insane. Why build near the dragon, they asked. Elias answered calmly, "Because he needs it." They laughed. "That thing could crush you." Elias nodded. Yes, he could. Then he kept building. He anchored pylons into the stone. He raised curved walls. He shaped them to fit the dragon's body. Ashfall watched, confused. No one had ever built something for him. The structure grew slowly. A massive shelter, wide and open, shielded from wind, lined with heat coils. Elias worked alone. He brought food to not for the dragon at first. For himself, he cooked near the shelter. The smell drifted. Ashfall inhaled. Meat, warm, real. Elias noticed. He cooked more. He placed it near the dragon. He stepped back. Ashfall waited. Then slowly he reached out. His claw trembled. He touched the food. It was warm. He ate. The sound echoed like thunder. Elias smiled. Every day he returned. He repaired cracked scales. He sealed exposed wounds. He installed a generator that fed gentle warmth. The shelter became a home. Ashfall slept deeper than he had in decades. The locals began to watch quietly. The dragon did not attack. The human did not flee. Weeks passed. Then came the signal. A Dominion warfleet entered the system. They had detected a Drake's signature. They had come to reclaim or destroy the militia. Panicked. They could not fight a fleet. They begged Elias to leave. He refused. Sensed the fleet. Old fear stirred. Old pain. He tried to rise. His damaged wings failed. The warships descended. Their leader spoke. Ashfall of the Stellar Drakes. You are property of the Dominion. Submit. Ash lowered his head. Elias stepped forward. No, he said. The transmission paused. Identify yourself, human. Elias answered. I am his shelter, builder. Laughter echoed. Move aside. Elias did not. You abandoned him, he said. You broke him. You do not get him back. The fleet charged weapons. Ash felt panic. He did not want Elias to die. He tried to shield him. Elias placed a hand on his scale. It was warm. I am not afraid, he said. The first shot fired. It struck the shelter. The walls flared. The heat coils surged. Something awakened. The shelter was not just walls. It was a resonance frame. Elias had studied Drake biology. He had read forgotten human archives. Humans had once sheltered wounded Drakes during the First Contact War. They had learned. The shelter amplified. Ashfall's core. Energy surged through him. His scales brightened. Silver blue returned. His eyes ignited like stars. The fleet faltered. Impossible, they said. Rose, not in rage, in resolve. He spread his broken wings. The shelter supported them. Energy flowed. He spoke. I was abandoned. But I was not alone. He breathed. Not fire. Light. A focused beam of stellar force. The lead warship vanished. The others fled. Silence. Returned. Ashfall lowered himself. Exhausted. Elias remained standing. The locals emerged. They stared in awe. The dragon bowed his head. Why? He asked. Why help me? Elias smiled softly. Because you were kind in a cruel universe. Ashfall closed his eyes. He had not been called kind before. News spread across the stars. A human had rebuilt a dragon, not with chains, not with weapons, with shelter. Other abandoned beings came, creatures cast aside, living weapons that refused cruelty. Humans welcomed them. They built shelters. They listened. They healed. The galaxy learned a lesson. Humans did not tame monsters. They gave them a place to rest. And when the storms came, those monsters stood not for conquest, for home, for the brave. Human who built a shelter, for the dragon who chose peace. For humanity. Asterisk.